What a game. What a game. I have to applaud it. Juventus 2. Manchester City 0. These were 3 massive points for Juventus, especially as of late where their form has dropped off. They've been drawing games left, right and centre in the Champions League. They've dropped points after having such a good start. 3 massive points for Thiago Motta, for Juventus. But the confidence boost. This is such a confidence boosting game in so many different aspects. Number one, in the Champions League, you secure 3 points. You near on guarantee yourself a spot in the knockout phase. You're coming up against a team which, in so many people's eyes, is the best team in the world. Against the best manager in the world, Pep Guardiola. Manchester City, a team full of stars and talent. To dismantle them, to beat them 2-0. Without really giving them much joy. Without Manchester City really testing you. It's a testament. It's a testament to the work that Motta's done. It's a testament to the defence. Gatti, Kalulu. Danilo, not the biggest fan, but I feel like he had a good game today. But 3 massive points for Juventus. Now, before we get into the analysis, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Make sure to hit the like. Make sure to let me know what you thought of the game in the comments. Let's get into it. Now, I feel like there's only one place to start. There's only really one player to start off by praising. Because in my opinion, it was a flawless performance. It was a performance that caught my eye, and I feel like it caught every Juventus fan's eyes, every football fan's eyes, because it was the typical number 9 performance. It was the flawless number 9 performance. It was the number 9 performance where they bring everything to the table and they benefit the team in so many different ways besides goals. But Sound Vlahovic, he got his goal. He got his goal. He done his primary purpose as a number 9, as Juventus' talisman. And he's a player that's been out of the picture as of late because of injury, but Juventus have missed him. They've missed him daily. But I looked at the performance today, and whenever I saw Dusan drop in deep to pick up the ball and connect the dots, he was efficient. He was effective. Whenever the ball was launched into the air, he won his duels. He won every single one of his aerial duels. Whenever the ball was launched, he controlled it. He brought his teammates into the game. He helped Juve gradually push higher up the field by dropping deep, giving them that numerical advantage in the centre to play in and around Manchester City. He helped his team by running the channels, holding up the ball. And even when you look at the goal, it was a funny sequence. It comes from Gatti trying a bicycle kick, it gets saved. The ball drops to Kenan Yildiz. But when you look at Dusan's positioning, it's not as if he's being man-marked by just one player. No, he's literally the only Juve player in the box. The only player in the box. There's only one person this ball is going to. So Manchester City look at him and be like, the ball's coming to you and we know this. They've got all their eyes, all their attention on Sound Vlahovic. But for him to still come out on top, get onto the header, and generate enough power for Edison to drop it, and it goes over the line. He took his chance. He took his opportunity. He put his team in the lead. And the reason why I want to sing his praise is because it says a lot about the player when you step up in games of this magnitude. You look at the opposition. You look at the players. You look at what this game means. This was a must-win game for Juve against the best team in the world in Manchester City. For him to go out there and drop that performance, it's a confidence booster for him, but for all of his teammates. The main man is back and he's firing. But it was a flawless performance by Sound Vlahovic. Secondly, I want to credit Thiago Motta, because the one thing that I can comfortably say about Motta, from watching him throughout this season, from watching him last year at Bologna, he instills that confidence in his players where he creates a platform for them to go out and play 5, 6, 7, 8 levels than their true level. I look at the defence. I look at Juve's defence as a whole throughout Serie A, throughout the season this year. It's the one area where he's earned his money the most. He's revamped that defence. He's made Juve so hard to break down. And even if you do break down, the players have got the individual quality to put out the fire. I look at Gatti and the levels that he's gone up on the Motta. I look at Kalulu, a player that was deemed surplus to requirements at Milan. A player that was 3rd on the list for Juve. Calafiori was the number 1 target. Then it was Todibo. Then it was Kalulu. Kalulu, in my opinion, has been the signing of the season in Serie A, if not the world. £15 million from your arch rivals. flawless performances week in, week out, whether he's on the left, whether he's on the right. But I'm looking at that defensive partnership today. Coming up against Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Jeremy Doku, Bernardo Silva. They weren't phased. They weren't phased in the slightest. And even when at times Manchester City dominated the ball in Juve's half and they were recycling it from left to right, doing the 1-2s, getting into those dangerous areas, Juve would always force them back. Whenever the cross came in, Juve always got to it first. Whenever a shot was shot, they would always block it. Di Gregorio, when he was tested, he came out on top. But where I look at Motta is, he looks at his defence and he tells them, listen, this might be a game, but we don't really hold on to the ball much because of the opposition and their style of play and their dominant approach. But I trust you guys to allow them to dominate the ball, but to not concede. And what was the scoreline? Juventus 2, Manchester City 0. Manchester City, in my opinion, didn't really test Juve. Besides a few shots from outside of the box and one-on-one with Haaland, besides that, nothing. Manchester City didn't do much. So I have to give credit to Motta. I have to give credit to these defensive players, Kalulu and Gatti in particular. And finally, Thiago Motta's game-winning substitutions. I feel like when judging managers, there's so many different things you can judge. You can look at the style of play. You can look at the results. You can look at the man management. How good are they at elevating players? But another thing is in-game management. In-game management can be the difference at times between 1 point and 3 points, or 0 points and 1 point. And I'm looking at the game, and especially the moment the substitution was made. Timothy Weah, Weston McKennie coming on. It was during a period where City were looking dominant. They were growing into the game. Bringing on two players that are full of energy, that are full of dynamism. Players that have that commitment, that sheer focus on helping Juve get over the line. You look at the goal. Juve capitalised on the counter-attack. They carried the ball forwards. Weston McKennie putting it where the danger is. In the space, at the right time for his teammate to attack. Once Timothy Weah gets into that position, you can see Weston McKennie. This is sheer commitment, dedication. This is a player that wants to get onto the end of this cross. This is a player that wants to score. How many times have you seen players make the pass and then they sit back and be like, my job is done. My job here is done. No, I'll make that pass, but I'll follow it up. That's what the best players do. They follow it up. They give their teammate an option once they receive the ball. Weah tries the cross first time. It gets blocked. It falls to him. Look at Weston McKennie. Unmarked, in the box, looking at Weah and telling him, put it in the right spot and I will score. And I don't know what you call it. A half volley, a bicycle kick. It was beautifully executed and it gives Juve that cushion. And the game ends, Juventus 2, Manchester City 0. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll catch you guys on another one.